Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So essentially, Prince Harry has been told to shut his mouth. He's been told to stop interfering in foreign political affairs. And I guess he kind of deserves this shutdown because the fact of the matter is Prince Harry has no right to attribute his personal difficulties with social media to everything else that is wrong in the world. So this article has gained a lot of traction and it's by The Express, titled "Prince Harry told to stop interfering in foreign politics after bold move on Capitol riots. Prince Harry was out of place when he waded into America's domestic politics to brand the Capitol riots violent extremism, a poll has found." So a lot of people have taken part in this poll regarding Prince Harry's personal viewpoints over social media and its effects on the Capitol riots. I found it strange that he actually incorporated the Capitol riots into his hate for social media. It just did not make any sense to me whatsoever. Less than a year after moving to the United States, the Duke of Sussex decided to make a bold solo statement on the state of affairs in his adopted country following the historic Capitol Hill protest by a pro-Trump mob, which left 5 people, unfortunately, to lose their lives. While Harry, 36, has in the past publicly commented on issues affecting the US alongside his wife Meghan, he struck a different, more certain tone by speaking out about the violence without his wife to back him up. And of course, they would have gone over this statement together and they would have thought about what he was going to say in this interview. From my understanding, it was a text interview, so he simply just responded in text to all of the questions that were sent over by email, which is of course going to be standard practice in these times because we are in lockdown and the pandemic, etc, etc. So express.co.uk conducted an exclusive poll asking readers if Harry was right to brand the Capitol Hill incident violent extremism. 83%, and that's 3,252 people, said the Duke was not right to make such comments, which of course he wasn't. It didn't make any sense. How did the Capitol Hill riots have anything to do with social media or anything to do with the difficulties that he and Meghan face on the internet? It just had no relation whatsoever. He's just trying to pull out the victim card, trying to substantiate his woe befalls me narrative in order to get to what he really wants to do, which is get back online with Megxie. So it continues on here. Only 16%, 534, supported Harry's decision to speak out in such a decisive manner. And just 1%, 76%, said they didn't know. In comments, many readers hit out at Harry for having a say on an issue so politically sensitive, particularly when the United States is so polarized following last November's election. One person said Harry would do well to stop interfering in foreign politics. A second reader accused Harry of adopting a different tune now than he did in the wake of the violent riots last summer carried out by some supporters of the BLM campaign. The reader said he kept his mouth shut during BLM violence and destruction of public and private property, so he should have kept it shut here as well. Well, of course, he would not have said anything regarding the BLM violence because quite simply that is more of a left-wing type of movement. In Harry's case, he's with Megxie, and Megxie views herself, so she said in the past, as a black woman. Therefore, he wouldn't have said anything to encroach upon his wife's identity or the way she identifies as a woman. And I'm not going to get into that because that's a long story. The violence in the Capitol, however, is a completely different issue. And of course, that was carried out by right-wing Donald Trump supporters. So therefore, he would have had something to say. But this is the thing. everything that Harry does is never really done in a very appropriate or sophisticated manner. He should have kept his mouth shut because he's already been told, along with Meghan, that if he wants to retain his royal titles, especially the one whereby they get to refer to themselves as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, he needs to say out of political affairs, full stop. But he's struggling to do that, evidently. So I'm going to continue on here. So someone said, as it turns out, he comes across as a lefty violence justifier, which is true. They, in so many words, supported the campaign of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And of course, I'm sure they're very happy to see that they got what they wanted. And Meghan has always openly insulted Donald Trump. So it's very understandable that they would be insulting his supporters too, or trying to blame them for everything that's wrong in this world. So it continues on here. They warned that if Harry continued to only speak out on some issues and not all, he would reach Meghan's level soon. A third person questioned if Harry's latest comments meant he had plans to become a US citizen. They wrote, "Is Harry looking for an American citizenship?" Another said, "Strange that members of the royal family are now so keen to comment on globalist woke left-wing narratives. If it becomes the new socialist elite against the people, they are in trouble." The Duke's comments came just days after Joe Biden was sworn in as America's 46th president, replacing Donald Trump. He told the Fast Company website, "We have seen time and time again what happens when the real world cost of misinformation is disregarded. There is no way to downplay this. There was a literal attack on democracy in the United States organized on social media, which is an issue of violent extremism." The poll ran from 12:15 to 10:15 p.m. on Saturday, January 23rd. A total of 3,862 people took part in this poll. That's the end of the article from what I can see. And of course, the people have spoken. Prince Harry had no right to talk about political affairs. He's already been told on multiple occasions, but it seems as though he's not quite getting the memo. He wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to be able to talk about whatever he wants to talk about. He wants to be able to make as much money as he can out of poor people's issues. And he's just an all-round contradictory character. He's just an all-round hypocrite, to be honest. That really is his problem. So the comments for this article are quite interesting, to say the least. And a lady has said here 3 hours ago, "He's nothing more than a woke idiot who parrots whatever me again tells him. He lost my respect the evening he determined that putting on a you-know-what uniform," and if you have been a royal watcher, you know exactly what she's talking about when Harry went to that Halloween party in that outfit. I can't say the word on this channel because I think it will demonetize the video. But anyway, so she carries on here. "Was a good idea, and he has done nothing since then to change my mind. I suppose it's too much to hope that he'll leave the United States anytime soon and go back to where he belongs for good?" Someone else has said, "Prince Harry told to stop interfering in foreign politics after bold move on Capitol riots. Bold move. Totally crass and stupid. If me again says do it, he does it. She tells him everything that he has to do. The bloke is a brain dead nincompoop." Okay. That's the end of his statement. And it's a tragedy, isn't it? Prince Harry is a tragedy. So someone else said, "That lad is sadly adrift and desperately looking for a bandwagon he can call his own. He had one of the best bandwagons in the world with the Invictus," which he did. The Invictus Games was a respectable ceremony. And he continues on to say here, "And he chucked it down the bog for a," he says trollop. I think he's referring to Megxie. So that's the end of the article. That's the entirety of it. And I will be back with another video. Prince Harry really, he needs to get some help. He really does need to get it together. And I'll be back for another video. Bye guys.